What's up, guys? Zach and Austin back at it again. We are going to follow up with our fight picks and what happened in 230. And for the most part, I think we did pretty well at guessing what was going to happen in the fights.
Yeah, we hit pretty on the head as far as most of the fights went.
Yeah, I mean, we disagreed on one of them. But besides that, I think almost every person that we chose to win outside of Weidman won. And that first one, the first thing that we said was potentially keep your eye out on that Lyman Good Ben Saunders fight because it might be an early knockout. And what do you know? First round knockout. Sorry, Saunders. I mean, I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
You saw it coming.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I mean, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
It might be time to call it a career. He's getting knocked out a lot lately. Either that or only hand him Damian Maia style opponents that'll grapple with him.
Yeah, kind of like, well, not to jump too off task, but kind of like the BJ Penn Ryan Hall fight coming up in the future. Like, BJ Penn's getting a little bit old too, but he still wants to fight, and Ryan Hall isn't really known for throwing hands. That's probably going to be a jiu-jitsu match, but we'll talk about that in the future. We're going to talk about next is the fight that we thought might have been potentially fight of the night. It didn't get fight of the night, but it was a really good scrap at the end of the day. And that's the Shayman Moraes versus Arce fight.
Yeah, that was... Moraes kind of dominated that back in the first two rounds. I mean, counter-struck most of the way, but he busted open Arce and dropped him a couple times. And then...
Yeah, that second round is when he really started to pour it. I think the second round was probably his best. I think that's when he really cut him.
Oh, yeah.
And got him open. In the third round...
Arce kind of poured it on trying to
catch up. It was back and forth. It was weird because when you look at the stats, it looked like Arce won that round, but when we were watching it, I thought that Moraes was getting the best of him. So it was just kind of weird how the stats fell out for that third round.
Right. Yeah, the third round, he was, just kind of a charging forward. He wasn't really trying to disguise anything. He was just trying to make up score. He was fighting for that finish because he knew he lost the first two rounds, basically. Yeah.
And then we have someone that we predicted a finish between Sarge and Monteferi, and Sarge did not look impressive to me at all.
No.
For someone that I think she beat her even more dominantly on tough. She didn't make weight. And then she shows up to the fight, and I think in that situation, if you're calling for a title shot and you miss weight, you better knock that girl out to get rid of any doubt that you aren't a potential title contender. She didn't do that. I wasn't all that impressed with her performance at all.
No, she wasn't. She didn't come away very impressive. She said after the fight that it's that time of the month, so that's what kind of...
Did she really?
She did. That's what she said. She had trouble making weight, and sure, she's blaming that for her poor performance also. And she also came out and said that she doesn't mind being the heel because that's going to mean that people are going to pay to watch her get knocked out and for somebody to shut her mouth. And I mean, if you can do it, but I just think it's going to turn more people off, and they'd rather ignore her than...
Yeah, I agree. And her best bet at this point is to get a fight, in my opinion, and I think you feel the same way, is against Nico Montano. Whenever she comes back, if they can both manage to make it to the fight, even if they both aren't on weight, if they can get in the octagon to fight each other, I think that's a fight that she would have to take regardless, because otherwise, with missing weight and having a lackluster performance against someone you've beaten in the past, don't think it's a really good title contending shot for her. So.
Nah. Yeah, she's... Nico Montano, I agree, is probably going to be your best chance at getting the title shot that she wants. Yeah. So, run it back from what should have been
the tough finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, after that fight, we had
Knight Rinaldi.
Yeah.
And, hate to say I told you so, but we called that one too.
Yeah.
He was willing to sacrifice position, just willing to fight off his back the whole fight.
Yeah, he had him in a body triangle. He was body triangling him instead of trying to get him off, instead of moving to butterfly guard, anything.
He was making that
body
effort.
triangled and was trying to throw elbows from the bottom which he's no Tony Ferguson. I didn't see him getting a finish from the bottom anytime soon.
No.
So
Yeah, he was controlled for 3 rounds. He did next to nothing. Rinaldi was closer to finishing with any submissions than he was, which, looking back on his little finger wag in the second round, is just it's disappointing. As a Jason Knight fan personally, it's very disappointing to see how far he's fallen since Lomas knocked him off.
Yeah, and now he's 0 for 4 in his last 4 fights. That would have been a really big win just to help him get back in that W column. But, I'm not sure what they're going to do next for Knight. Maybe they match him up with someone else that lost on this card.
Yeah, I was thinking personally Arce. That gives you 2 guys with a little bit of name value. It'll get one of them back in the win column. Whether from Knight's point of view,
or Arce's,
from Knight's point of view, Arce's not really a wrestler. So he's not really going to have to worry about that. It's going to be somebody that's going to be a little more willing to stand and trade with him. And from Arce's point of view, you get this fight against a guy that was sniffing around title contention. So you finish him, you're right back in talks as one of the young up-and-comers.
Yeah, makes sense. And they'll be on roughly the same timeline, too, because they just fought at the same card. So. Right.